provision of the needed security for the success of the exercise. In this regard, politicians and their supporters, particularly the youths, have been called to caution across board to shun all forms of political violence before, during, and after the February FCT Area Council election. To further echo this resolve, candidates in the election were this Monday led to sign a peace agreement by the FCT Police Command.
The election should be crime-free, no perjury, no snatching of boxes, no disruptions of collection centers. So that's the main reason why they have been called to sign this. We employ them to be law-abiding. Let them play the games according to the rules. So because they are 70% of the voters, so they have to conduct themselves within the confines of law. We advise them, we urge them to do that.
The traditional institution, as the custodian of the people's values, are also living up to expectations in this campaign for electioneering peace, with the Sape Igarki leading the charge.
To come out to campaign peacefully, ask their supporters to also come out in peace to vote.
The most important thing we need in this our children is peace.
That this election is free and fair, and then the people's choice emerge, and also ensure that the security is beefed up to avoid any problem.
As a youth, I want a violent-free election. There is no gain in sharing blood.
As it is the right of every resident of the FCT to exercise their franchise come February 12th, the police says it has made it a key mandate to ensure that the exercise is violence-free.
My guest today, good morning and thank you for joining us on Call the Police.
Thank you so much, viewers.
Now, just this Monday, you led a coordinated effort to engage the gladiators in the forthcoming exercise to sign a peace pact. Let's start this way. What does this mean for the Saturday's area council election in the FCT?
What it means for them is that they want to ensure that everywhere is peaceful and that they are going to play the game by the rules. And if you violate any, we are going to arrest you, whether before or after the election. And that's the purpose of signing the pact. Okay. It's embedded inside the pact, their do's and don'ts. And what you do, you'll be arrested and prosecuted. So I want to inform the residents of FCT that the police and other security agencies were ready for the election. We are fully mobilized, our people, for the election. We have posted our men and made sure that we will all be there before the time. This is the first election we are deploying from Friday. We are deploying from Friday to Saturday and then Sunday. So we are ready for the election, and no person should have any fear in going to cast his or her vote for any candidate of their choice.
Now, before this peace pact was signed, the Commissioner of Police, Babaji Sunday, invited these politicians to the police command, where he had, talks with them over and over again on, particularly the need to give peace and, a chance as the build-up to this all-important exercise was ongoing. In the aftermath of that meeting, how has it fared, particularly now that the campaign is ongoing?
Yes, if you check, this is the last lap of the campaign, and it has been very peaceful because of what we have done. The campaigns will end tomorrow. It has been very peaceful. You can have minor skirmishes along the way, but there's no major crisis. So we are happy that the campaigns have been crisis-free so far because of what we have done. So, and that is why we are saying that every politician should play the game by the rule. Like on that day of the election, the Commissioner of Police, FCT, have announced this morning that there will be full restrictions of movement within the FCT.
Okay. Starting from right
8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Full restriction. You are restricted to the area, to your voting area.
Okay.
You are restricted to your voting area. Apart from those on essential duties, the ambulances, the fire service, and those on election duty.
Okay.
That is full restriction, and we are going to actually activate it to its fullest. So full restriction within FCT on Saturday by 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to make sure that everywhere is peaceful. You are restricted to your voting area between that time.
Now, bearing in mind the significance, we were still talking about the peace pact that the politicians signed on Monday in your office. Bearing in mind the importance of such move to this, an exercise of this importance, would it have been, do you think it would have been a better idea to sign this earlier than we did?
No, it's okay. We have signed, this one we signed last week is the last one.
Okay.
We have signed before, there were skirmishes, we signed the second time. This one was the final one.
Okay.
So, and because the final one, we want to make sure that they are still playing the game by our advice.
All right. Well, if you are just joining us, this is called The Police Live, reaching you from the services of the NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Do remember that, as usual, the program is interactive. You get to be part of what we're doing here in the studio. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations for the FCT Command is here responding to questions on security preparations for the all-important area councils election in the FCT. The numbers to call in and also to send messages on WhatsApp will be flashing on your screen as we go ahead with the discussion. So make it a point of duty to contribute your quota to the success of the issue of the fact that we lost that call. Do make effort to call us back. Go ahead, DC.
So we are giving them police.
Okay.
The police are at their request. So, but the areas we see that we describe as flashpoints,
yes,
when we hear that they're going there to campaign, we deliberately post police to ensure the safety of everybody.
Outside the personal arrangements you have made for the politicians.
Exactly. So we make sure. So we don't want to take chances because like Josie said, many of them are desperate. It's not even the players, the candidates themselves, but the supporters are some of their pro to do this. They always do something at their will. So we have made sure, and that's one of the things we have achieved in this process, in this peace process, signing of the MOUs and so on and so forth. So that commendation, G7 sponsored by the minister, we took around the tours of FCT, which pressmen were involved in some areas. And most of these communities we have recovered from bandits. Elections are going to hold in them.
We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, you tell us your name and then your location and go ahead to make your contribution.
Yes, my name is Honorable Musa Mohammed Token, the National President, APC Initiative for Good Governance.
All right, go ahead and make your contribution.
I want to commend the laudable and commendable efforts in security that is prevailing other parts of the country, personnel and Mr. President. I want to say that the security architecture should a kind of to which they will link up information that will reveal some of the hideouts of the criminals. If that is done, I think for now. Thank you.
Thank you for calling on the program.
Yes, I want to thank him We have co-opted a lot of groups, and that's why we say, take our number, take a police line. The CP number is on every day in the news. Google it, you will see his number or my number. If you have any information, you can reach us personally for the sake of its confidentiality. But we have come up in this program and say, when you see something, say something. Is when you refuse to say something, that is a problem. When you see something, if you know hideout of any criminal, please report them to me. We have not feared in entering every camp in this FCT, even beyond FCT, to ensure that they didn't enter FCT. So if there's any criminal camp that he knows, he can reach to me. We know what to do. We are not afraid at all.
All right. We have another caller. Hello, good morning. No, well, there's a message from Mr. Samuel Nze. He's asking, I read his message. He says, there are identified black spots in parts of the city center that one must not deny the role the occupants of these places might play in the outcome of this exercise this Saturday. What is the police doing to make sure that these places are cleared out before that day?
We are already continue reading. We have been reading, but in the city center where he's talking, we know where there's black spots. The city center, there's no area black spot again, apart from one or two. We have read them. Last night we were read. Day before yesterday we were read. We have to continue to read. We have destroyed a lot of shanties, all these small houses that they used to build in empty lands. None of them is existing again. And this is one of the things that have ensured peace within the city center. So the area where they are, all these people living in areas that has no address. So we are equally reading them there now to ensure. We have destroyed a lot of these shanty areas in Abuja, both the one here in the city center, the one close to Area 10, the one in Kushibena, the one in Ugbarempa, the one who have this in Pape, the one who have done so. They carry ahead again.
All right. Finally, just before we go, just a wrap-up.
Yes.
General election security advice to FCT residents, both the electorate and even the politicians themselves and poll officials that will be taking part in this exercise come this Saturday.
This Saturday, we have warned that, number one, if you are not a voter, there's no need of you coming to the polling unit.
Okay.
Because if you are not a voter and you come to the polling unit, we are going to deal with you. If you behave lawlessly, we are going to treat you lawfully, for you to know. And the Togre, no matter the name they ascribe to it, will not be allowed to exist. And if you are a party agent, play it by the rules. Behave like an agent. Because the presiding officer, the police are there, everybody is there. And the other party agents are there. We will not allow anybody to foment any trouble. And one of the things, like INEC briefed us, is the system that introducing the BVAS machine. Yes. Once the accreditation finishes and the result is being, it transmits straight from the PU